Why is manifestation always instantaneous? According to Neville Goddard, a lot of people want to manifest quickly right now, instantly, and they get frustrated because they look at the clock and say, it's not working. But here's the truth. Manifestation is always instantaneous. It's just not the way you think. Let's clarify. According to Neville Goddard, there are two parts to manifestation. One is intention. You decide what you want, whether it's an affirmation, a visualization, or an idea. That's not important. And part number two is the bridge of incidence. And here is the real secret. When you set the intention, the bridge is created instantly. The physical result may take time, but the path that leads you to the physical result is activated. The bridge is created immediately. Neville Goddard explains it like this. Even if you don't have the means, if 1,000 people are needed for something to happen, each one will play their part, consciously or unconsciously. And you won't even notice because the bridge works behind the scenes. And why do people block everything then? Because they get obsessed with the how, among many other things, and instead of walking, they sit on the bridge and start doubting. This doesn't happen, this doesn't arrive, this doesn't come. The sign that you're on the bridge is that your inspired action usually seems normal, even unrelated. It doesn't always make sense. That's why the true magician of manifestation is not about repeating techniques. It's about mastering this, living in the present. Because when you're in the now, you're making space for your unconscious, your higher self, God, everyone, to organize what your rational mind can't calculate with your thinking mind. You can't know how all of this is going to work out. The present is the point of power. When you leave the present, you go back to control, to fear, to rushing, and that's when you stumble. So, make it simple. 1. Define a clear intention. 2. Let go of the how. 3. Move forward. Take a real step every day today. 4. Return to the present moment. Every time anxiety catches you, you'll start to notice coincidences so perfect that you can no longer call them coincidences. Write in the comments, I trust the bridge. Also, write in the comments, my job is not to build the bridge. My job is to walk it. Let's see. In short, manifestation is instant. Because, according to Neville Goddard, at the very moment you set an intention, the bridge of incidence is created. A sequence of events that takes you from point A to point B, which is important to keep in mind and experience. Physical result. It may take time, and the bridge may seem romantic, but it's pure science. Kissing your partner, like I'm about to tell you now, kissing them every day, could extend your life by up to 7 years. And no, it's not poetry, it's biology, it's neuroscience, and it's preventive medicine. When you kiss your partner for a prolonged period, at least one kiss a day for 7 minutes, your body activates an incredibly healthy chemical cascade. Your body starts to produce oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone that reduces stress and protects the heart. Dopamine, which improves your mood and motivation, and endorphins, which are natural painkillers that strengthen the immune system. Well, and if instead of just one long kiss there are 2, 3, 4, that's even better. Studies from the University of Frankfurt observed that people with close emotional relationships, frequent physical contact, and daily displays of affection lived longer and got sick less often. Also, research published in Psychosomatic Medicine and the American Journal of Cardiology shows that intimate contact reduces cortisol, improves heart rate variability, and decreases the risk of hypertension and cardiovascular diseases. And here comes the most important part, which isn't the kiss itself, though of course it must be wonderful. Being in a relationship and kissing each other beautifully every day. Take advantage or find someone else, since that's what the kiss means. The body interprets that gesture as a clear sign of safety, belonging, and emotional connection, and a body that feels safe ages more slowly. So it's not cheap romanticism, it's conscious longevity. Love is not only felt, it also translates into years of life. Write down below, I choose relationships that give me life, and share it with the person who brings you health, calm, and years of existence today. Of course, I declare myself a conscious or scientific romantic, because if science says this is coming, even better. Because apparently now there's a couple crisis, either fewer couples are forming or more couples are breaking up, it seems like there's a crisis. Because the right thing hasn't been done in the past, but there's always time to start doing the right thing from now on. I encourage you to get together as couples and set common goals, purposes, and things together. You're playing reality backwards. That's why the life you want isn't manifesting. I'm going to tell you something that might make you uncomfortable. If you're currently chasing money, love, success, or inner peace, it's very likely that you're playing reality backwards. I mean, most people live like this. When I achieve this, then I'll be happy. Or when I reach that result, then I'll feel complete. And without realizing it, they go through life pushing a rock uphill, completely exhausted and frustrated. Science and neuroscience confirm it. Your brain doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to your internal state. Your perception, your decisions, and the opportunities you see depend on the emotional and mental state you're in right now. Watch this. Pay attention. When you're calm, coherent, or grateful, you see solutions, the right people, and signs. However, when you're in fear or in a state of lack, you see problems, threats, and obstacles. Even if reality is exactly the same, you'll see more obstacles than opportunities. Here's the key twist. Reality doesn't change first. Either you change first or you won't see what you desire. So reality reorganizes itself when you change first. Now you can manifest what you want manifested. From who are you? If you want life to start persevering, stop looking outside for what is an internal state of peace and love. First be peace, first be abundance, first be coherence, and then watch how reality starts to bend in your favor. Stop pushing the rock, change your state, and the game of life will start to play out in a way that suits you according to your desires. When you change your internal state, reality stops resisting. Write down below, I choose to change my state, and save this video to come back to it whenever you need it. The day I stopped fighting and found peace and love. For a long time, people would ask me, Cristobal, how can you be so calm if your life has been so chaotic, so hard, so intense? And the truth is, I wasn't like that before. I used to fight against everything, against life, against people, against myself. I believed that control meant security. I was the most controlling man you could imagine. I thought that if I held on to everything tightly, it wouldn't hurt. And if something did hurt, I would avoid the pain and let it go until life wore me out. People left. Plans fell apart. Everything I tried to force often collapsed. And in that exhaustion, something unexpected happened. I didn't find answers. What I found was peace, and then love. Not because life became easy, but because I stopped giving chaos a seat in my mind and in my nervous system. So, what happened then? I understood something key. If something cost you your peace, it's too expensive. Listen to it again. It's too expensive. It doesn't matter the story. It doesn't matter the love that was there. If it makes you anxious, if it makes you doubt yourself, if it makes you shrink, that's not alignment with your love, your peace, or anything that matters to you. And listen, letting go is not about stopping loving. Letting go is about stopping begging, stopping proving your worth. Detachment is not coldness, it's clarity. Detachment is saying, I love you, but I'm not going to lose myself to keep you. At first, letting go hurts. It feels like mourning, like silence, like empty hands, like I've been abandoned, like they don't love me. But if you go through that silence without chasing, without forcing, you find a much more powerful version of yourself. Because peace never comes with noise, never. Peace and love come softly, like a sigh you didn't know you were holding in. That's when I understood everything. I don't need to be chosen, nor do I need to choose. I choose and I'm chosen, but by feeling. Letting go is not giving up. Letting go is trusting. Before you act, ask yourself, is this coming from love, or from fear, or from insecurity, or from doubt? Am I trusting, or am I trying to control? Because what is meant for you doesn't need to be chased, and what leaves is only making space for something more aligned, for something better, always. And peace and love are not found outside, they are reclaimed. When you stop betraying yourself, write down here, I choose peace, I choose myself, and let this decision begin. Today, are you putting yourself below money instead of above it? Money is unlimited because it's unlimited energy. Money isn't chased, it's attracted. When you generate value, mainly from your authenticity, you have to stop acting for money and start becoming someone who creates real value. Therefore, authenticity is one of the important keys. Money is the goal, but at the same time, it's a reflection of who you are. Therefore, the real goal is not money, but to improve yourself. And as a result, that will give you a better situation in life. I'm going to tell you something that might hurt, but it will set you free. If you're thinking about money right now, most likely you're pushing it away. Because money is not a reward, money is a measure, an energy that reflects only one thing. It reflects value, your value, and the value you bring. And here is the idea that changes your life. Wealth is equal to the ability to generate value. In other words, it's not about how I get money, it's more about what value I'm creating. That others prefer more than their money so that their money comes to me, changes hands, because I am giving them value. And now comes the number one mistake that blocks almost everyone. Acting like a person who wants money. That changes your personality for the worse. It makes you sell out of need, even if you do it unconsciously. It's noticeable because when you do that without realizing it, the energetic message you send out is, I'm not worthy for who I am. I have to act to deserve it. And that lowers your perceived value. There, you're putting yourself below money. You're in your smallness because in reality, you are a divine, gigantic, fantastic, and wonderful being. And your state is to be above money, helping many people, generating value, and receiving a lot of wealth as a logical consequence. On the other hand, when you do this, you put yourself, now I'm going to give you the keys to put yourself above money. Point 1. You choose what is aligned with you. You improve your skill and your message. You solve a real problem for people. You bring transformation. You become specific and useful. And then the real magic happens. Money stops being something you chase. It becomes a consequence because money flows toward value and value multiplies. When it comes from your truth and your authenticity and not from your fear, you don't attract money for what you want, you attract it for what you contribute. Write down here, today I increase my value, increase your value because that's what will bring you money. Today I increase my value and tell me, write it too. What transformation are you enjoying that you can offer to the world today, this week, or this month? Confidence is uncomfortable, yet it's essential, and that's why almost no one achieves it. Do you know that many people never become self-confident because they believe that confidence feels good from the beginning, and that's not confidence. It almost always feels like discomfort, embarrassment. I feel weird. This isn't me. Why does it feel like this? Because of this. Because you're stepping out of an old character, the insecure me, and your mind loves what's familiar, even if it makes you feel small. I'm going to tell you a truth that changes everything. Confidence isn't a state, it's a muscle. And a muscle, when you train it, sometimes it hurts a little and sometimes it's hard to develop. Now, how do you build that muscle without going crazy? Point 1. Create a map of your confident self. Ask yourself, how does my confident version walk? How does he talk? What does he tolerate and what doesn't he tolerate? What kind of friend, partner, or professional is he? Not to invent a fake personality, but to remember who you can be, to recognize yourself. Point number 2, micro changes. Don't look for radical changes. Don't try to change everything tomorrow in 24 hours. Instead, do it like this. Today, straighten your posture for 10 seconds. Tomorrow, make eye contact for 2 seconds longer. This week, speak more slowly in a sentence every now and then. Today, for example, say no to one small thing. It's fake until it becomes real. And yes, at first it feels like wearing shoes that aren't yours. At first you fake it, but you train yourself. But one day you realize and say, wow, I am this person now. 3, the hidden key. Keep small promises. Trust is born from a word called self-confidence, and self-confidence is built with evidence, he says. He says he would do it, and he did it. Water. Drink more water. Walk, work out, read for 10 minutes. Small promises equals fulfilled, equals strong identity. And watch out for this. Insecure people criticize because they need to feel superior, falsely. Confident people don't compete, they respect each other. Confidence doesn't come when you feel ready. It comes after you go through discomfort. Write in the comments, hey El Hijo, should I get uncomfortable to grow? And save the video to rewatch whenever you doubt yourself. Your nervous system rejects your dream, and that's why it doesn't manifest. It wants to hold you back. as if it were out of your hands. Rather, your body doesn't feel safe living in that new reality. I'll explain it to you simply. In other words, your nervous system is designed to prioritize your survival, not your happiness. You imagine a big leap, more money, more love, more success. Your body can interpret it as danger, danger. This is unknown. It's better to go back to what we always do. The new is better, but for your body, it's unknown. That's why a lot of people say, when I get that, I'll finally feel good. But that's not how it works. It's the other way around. First, you have to feel secure inside so that what's outside can change. Calm your nervous system. Here's the trick. Your nervous system often learns through repetition. If you've spent years training stress, fear, scarcity, or alertness, your body goes back there out of habit because that's what's familiar, to fear. So, how do you reprogram it? Point 1. Calm the body. First, breathe slowly for 2 to 5 minutes every day. Inhale for 4 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. Then, that sends the biological message to your body that says, I'm safe, and it takes you out of fight or flight mode with those breaths. Second, don't fight the thought when the typical thought appears, like, I can't do this isn't for me, or it's not going to happen. Don't fight it, because when you fight it, the negative thought gets stronger. Do this instead. Observe it as if it were a scared child inside you, and ask yourself what fear is underneath this thought. Point number 3, negative rehearsal, new life, and look at the blockage in your mind, in your imagination. Close your eyes for 20 seconds and imagine your desired reality. Where do you live? How do you feel? How do you relate to money, to love, to peace? And if tension, doubt, or a knot in your stomach appears, well, that's where the key is. By repeating these visualizations, your body will unlock. Stay with that feeling, keep breathing without running away. When you let your body process it, the blockage completes its cycle. And then the incredible happens. You will manage to change your internal state, and your life will start to reflect it like a mirror. Remember this, it's not about thinking positively, which is also good, but it's better to teach your body that it's safe. To live in abundance, in love, and in calm. Write in the comments, my body is safe, and save this video to watch it again, every day. If someone tries to bring you down, it's because they're below you. Those above are busy. Always keep that in mind. Life is short. Tell them you like them and let them reject you quickly. Often, fear of rejection is our biggest obstacle to happiness and fulfillment. Once you get over it, nothing and no one can stop you, and if it doesn't work out this time, it'll work out next time, no problem. Just keep moving forward. If you truly believed that something belongs to you, you wouldn't chase it or beg for it, you would simply allow it to come to you. As you can see, this is one of the ways to clear the path for the manifestation of all the things you desire. It's not possible to maintain a healthy physical body without a clear perception of your emotions and a strong determination to direct your thoughts towards subjects that make you feel good. Right down here, feeling good is natural. When I train my mind with Cristobal, has our mind been conditioned to think there's not enough? This produces many negative consequences for us, one of which is that we cling to what we have. We don't want to lose it and end up with nothing. So, out of fear, we might cling to a job we don't like or to a partner we're not happy with. Manifesting wealth has more to do with letting go, flowing with detachment, surrender, renunciation, and clarity. Much more with these than with the fear of losing. The only way to consciously deactivate a thought is by activating another one. The law of inclusion. Every thought you focus your attention on expands and becomes a more important part of your vibrational makeup. So, whether it's a thought about something you want or something you don't want, your attention invites it to become a part of you. There is an unlimited stream of well-being and an abundance of all kinds of things that are always within your reach. But logically, you must align yourself with them to receive them. You can't resist them and receive them at the same time.